Time now for a look at business with Mike Eppel from CityNews 680. Good day, Mike. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Let's dive into it here. We got some stories. And look, Mike, and for anyone who's watched BT and has seen this segment, I thoroughly enjoy talking to Mike and all of our business experts here on Breakfast Television. The alarm bells for our economy have been sounding for quite some time. But, Mike, they're getting louder, aren't they?
I think this is maybe one of the reasons why the Bank of Canada next month won't be raising interest rates, Sid. A couple of things. We talked about this yesterday when we were discussing the earnings from the big Canadian banks and how much money they're setting aside to cover the so-called loan loss provisions, what they see for consumer spending and debt loads and whether or not Canadians are going to be paying their bills or going into default. And some of these numbers have doubled, if not tripled, over the past year. And we're hearing about this being a major red flag signal for the economy. And then that's borne out by the latest report on the amount of money that Canadian consumers are putting on plastic. TransUnion talking about consumer debt loads going way up on credit cards, credit card issuance, subprime loans, all of these things rising significantly just in the past couple of months. And all of these indicate a struggling Canadian consumer situation because of high debts and very high interest rates. Don't kid yourself, Sid, that this is a problem. People are trying to figure out any and all ways to pay the bills because things have gone up so fast, so quickly.
Yeah, not bringing the rates up if you're the Bank of Canada. That is quite something if that takes place, considering that's not the landscape we've been living in for the past X amount of months.
I would really be surprised if they raise again next month.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right, Mike, and you usually are. As we've been talking about all morning here, the online gaming industry in Ontario, look, first 3 months of this year, $1 billion was brought in. That's not revenue, but just total. The province of Ontario made over $1 billion. But, Mike, the landscape might be changing a bit, at least from an advertising front.
Yeah, no more celebrities, social media influencers, sports athletes, current or former. They're really changing the playbook here, if you will, for the advertising of iGaming. And it's taken 6 months to get into effect. I get that. They have to change all these ads. But this is the my pendulum effect, Sid. I go by the pendulum theory that when you could start advertising, they made all of this legal, everything just swung so far over to one side. You know, viewers were going, I'm seeing too many gambling ads and raising questions about should athletes be promoting gambling? I thought that was verboten. Well, now they're going to swing everything back and none of this is going to be a thing anymore. And now it's the question, are these just going to be generic ads? Are they going to have people who, like, you know, just spokespeople that we've never seen before, as opposed to Aaron Paul telling me that I can bet in a game, same game parlay? Yes, you can, or something of that nature. I don't know.
By the way, you don't need
discussing it all morning.
You don't need Aaron Paul to tell you to bet on the Nationals against the Jays this afternoon. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. That brilliant manager the Jays have. Just do it.
Will they pinch run for Alejandro?
I don't want to talk about it, man. I don't want to talk about it. It's too the wounds are too raw. All right, let's move on to Chat GPT, artificial intelligence here. One of the biggest new waves of technology in the world, and Mike, some of the biggest companies in the world are now pushing back a little bit.
Yep, they're changing their websites at CNN, Disney, and the New York Times to ostensibly block ChatGPT from going in there and using all of that information to fuel artificial intelligence. Why, you may ask? Because these big companies want to be paid, which is not a surprise. It is pay for information. This is also a theme of 2023, Sid. And I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this all plays out. If ChatGPT can't go in and get all of the data that it needs to operate from these news sources, then where does it go? I don't know. There's a lot of it's already being proven that AI is putting out some erroneous information with some of the stuff that it produces. So yeah.
Yeah, listen,
interesting, but
I'm a fan of that. These things are going to be dangerous enough as they are. Let's not make them any smarter than they need to be. 30 seconds, Mike.
Yes.
Look, I have an iPhone.
Yes.
I believe it's 18 months old, which means it's really old and I don't want it anymore. When's the new iPhone coming out?
in September. They're going to unveil it September 15th, big event for Apple. I mean, they do this every year. Said just in time for Christmas, don't you know, where they have the big sales extravaganza. It's off the top we talked about people not having enough money to pay the bills, but Apple just seems to have that secret sauce of people being willing to and able to pay whatever it takes for the latest iPhone. It is not the most valuable company in the world without reason, Sid. Close to $3 trillion in market cap right now. So, yeah, your iPhone, 18 months old. That's old.
Thing barely works anymore.
Dated.
You kidding me?
Oh, my goodness. I don't even know. You should be embarrassed.
It's a great phone, don't get me wrong. Mike Eppel, guess what? You're great.
Yes.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
Go Jays.
You too.